Convicted rapist Thabo and Dr. Nandipha Magudumana are taking Netflix to court to stop the release of the documentary series Beauty and the Bester. The first episodes are set to air tomorrow. The pair say the series spreads false information about them, exploits their story for profit, and could affect their right to a fair trial. They want the court to permanently block Netflix from showing or promoting the documentary without their permission. Their trial, linked to Bester's 2022 daring prison escape, is set to start in November. For more on this now, here's SABC News reporter Chrielda Lewis, who's at the Pretoria High Court for us this hour. So, Chrielda, the pair contends the documentary spreads false information about them. I guess it will be interesting to see how the court strikes the delicate balance of rights and media freedom.
Well, absolutely, Mxolisi, as you correctly pointed out, Thabo and Dr. Nandipha Magudumana are launching this urgent application here at the High Court in Pretoria this morning to have the airing of that Netflix documentary stopped. So that three-part series is meant to begin airing tomorrow. So in court papers, you'd recall Bester claimed that the documentary had contained defamatory information and that Netflix was basically exploiting his rights for commercial gain. He also doesn't want, as you indicated, the streaming, the broadcasting or advertising of the documentary without his permission, and basically says that the airing of it will impede his right to a fair trial, which you correctly pointed out is expected to begin in November. Both of them are not expected here today. I'm talking about Bester and Magudumana because this is not a criminal trial. They're not expected to be present in court. Their lawyers, of course, will be handling those arguments. So both of the lawyers representing Magudumana as well as Bester basically say that the releasing of the documentary, they claim that the series contains inaccurate, defamatory and unsubstantiated claims that basically violates their constitutional rights. So Netflix, of course, expected to oppose this urgent application, and we're expecting to start around about 10 o'clock this morning with those proceedings. But I did have a chat with Thabo Bester's attorney a little bit earlier on this morning on what the basis of this urgent application is about. Let's take a listen to what the attorney, Courage Morero, told SABC News.
What we are arguing before the court is that our client's right to a fair trial is being impeded. His right to equal protection under the law, that's also being impeded. But more and above that, that his right to human dignity. We understand that he's convicted, but he's still human. He's still entitled to those rights. So basically what we are asking of the court is that in Part B of our application, we want the court to hear us on that and make a declaration on that. But before we continue to Part B, we need this documentary to be interdicted. So basically that's what we are doing here today, to bring Part A of our application, which is asking for an interim interdict.
Have you had sight of this documentary? Obviously, if he speaks about his rights being impeded and speaks about defamatory information, what defamatory information do you believe is in that documentary which the public should not see now until the completion of his trial?
Okay. So no, we have not had actually sight of the documentary. What we've seen is what everybody else has seen, which is the 1 minute and 30 seconds clip that Netflix has been using to promote the documentary. But what we've seen of it so far is that the statement's been made. Statement like this, and I quote, Thabo Bester had faked his death. Thabo Bester had escaped from prison. Those are conclusions. And those are matters that are actually before the court in Bloemfontein. Those are the issues that are actually now being adjudicated. That's evidence that's being led that those facts still need to be proven. So when Netflix comes out making those statements as though they've already been established in a court of law, as though the prosecutors have already proved a case beyond reasonable doubt, then it becomes an issue because they've now convicted him and he hasn't actually even entered a plea in Bloemfontein.
Are you hopeful? We had a similar move with Showmax. This is not the first documentary that's been out on Mr. Thabo Bester and Ms. Magudumana. Are you hopeful that what you will put before this court today would at least, we know the documentary is airing tomorrow, are you hopeful that this court, on the basis of what you bring before it, will perhaps find in your favor?
We are very hopeful. And to put a little bit more meat into our application. That's why we decided to bring it in two parts, to say to the court, we're not saying at another point we will come to the court to have the issues of his constitutional right ventilated. We are saying we are prepared to do it now. In fact, we are doing it now. Just give us the opportunity. But while we do that, can Netflix be halted from releasing this documentary? And if the court finds that in Part B we have not proved the case, then I guess they would allow Netflix to go ahead and publish that documentary. But in the meantime, let them be halted and let us present our case to the court so that the court can give us a fair hearing.
All right, Mkolisi, we're expecting court proceedings to get underway at 10 o'clock this morning. The media has been granted the right to air the proceedings live as well. It will also be on the SABC's YouTube channel and SABC Plus as well. So proceedings get underway at 10 o'clock.
Certainly all eyes and ears on that matter. Chrielda Lewis on that story for us. Thanks so much for that update.